Close your eyes and let yourself drift back through the mists of time, to the year 1717, the golden age of piracy. You're standing on a weathered dock in the Caribbean. The salty air fills your lungs. The sun is setting over turquoise waters, and before you rises the dark silhouette of a ship. Not just any ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, Blackbeard's ship. Tonight, you will join his crew and experience what it was truly like to sail with the most feared pirate in history. Let the journey begin. You didn't plan to become a pirate. Few men did. You were a sailor once, on a merchant vessel, working 18-hour days for mere pennies, barely enough to survive. The officers beat you for the smallest mistakes. The food was rotten, the work endless. Then, 3 months ago, your ship was captured by pirates. They gave you a choice, something no merchant captain ever did. Join them as an equal, with a share of the treasure, or be set free at the next port. Many of your former crewmates chose freedom, but you had nothing to return to. No family, no fortune, no future. So you stayed, and now, after proving yourself on smaller raids, you've been summoned. Blackbeard himself wants you aboard his flagship. The dock is crowded with rough men, loading barrels and crates, their skin bronzed by the Caribbean Sunday, their clothes a patchwork of stolen finery and weathered canvas. You can smell tar and rum and gunpowder and the salt of the sea. A voice calls out from the ship. You, new blood, get yourself aboard. You grab your small sack of belongings, everything you own in this world, and step onto the gangplank. The wood creaks beneath your feet. Below you, dark water sloshes against the hull. And then, you're aboard the Queen Anne's Revenge. The deck is massive, nearly 100 feet long, 3 tall masts reaching toward the darkening sky. 40 cannons line the rails, their black mouths ready to speak death. This ship was once a French slaver called La Concorde, captured by Blackbeard just months ago. He added more guns, more speed, and renamed her. Now, she's the terror of the Atlantic. A figure emerges from the captain's cabin, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in a long coat of deep crimson. His beard is black as coal, thick, braided, with smoking, slow-match fuses woven into the braids. Smoke curls around his face like he's risen from hell itself. Edward Teach, Blackbeard. His eyes find you across the deck, dark, intelligent, calculating. He approaches, his boots heavy on the planks, the crew parting before him like the Red Sea. He stops before you. Up close, he's even more imposing. 6 feet tall, muscular, with multiple pistols strapped across his chest, a cutlass at his hip, knives in his belt. You're the one who helped take that Spanish brig off Hispaniola, he says. His voice is surprisingly calm, educated even. You nod. Good, he continues. You fight well, you follow orders, you don't steal from your brothers. That's all I ask. He extends a calloused hand. Welcome to my crew. You shake his hand, and with that simple gesture, your old life ends. You are now a pirate. The crew quarters are below deck, in the dark belly of the ship. You descend a narrow ladder, the air growing thicker, warmer, with each step down. The space is cramped, low ceilings, forcing even men of average height to stoop. Hammocks hang in rows, swaying gently with the ship's movement. The smell is intense. Unwashed bodies, damp wood, bilge water, tobacco smoke, rum. But you'll grow used to it. Everyone does. A grizzled sailor with one eye and a Scottish accent shows you to your hammock. "This here's yours," he says. "Don't let no one take it. A man's hammock is sacred on a pirate ship. You sling your sack beneath it." Your spot claimed. The Scottish sailor, who introduces himself as McGregor, points around the dimly lit space. "That's where we eat. That's where we gamble. That's where we sleep. Sometimes all at once." He grins, revealing missing teeth. "Welcome home, lad." There are nearly 300 men aboard the Queen Anne's Revenge, 300 souls from a dozen different nations. English sailors fleeing the Royal Navy's brutal discipline, Scottish rebels, Irish criminals, French deserters, Spanish captives who chose piracy over prison, Dutch traders, even a few Africans, former slaves who found freedom under the black flag. Here, on this ship, your past doesn't matter. Noble birth means nothing. Skin color means nothing. And now, you're part of her. You wake to the sound of the ship's bell. 4 bells of the morning watch. 6 o'clock. Around you, men grunt and curse, climbing from hammocks, rubbing sleep from their eyes. The air below deck is stifling, thick with the breath of 300 men. You follow the others up to the main deck, where the morning sun is just breaking the horizon, painting the Caribbean sky in shades of pink and gold. The sea stretches endlessly in all directions. No land in sight, just water and sky and the ship. Your first task, like every morning, is to pump the bilge. Ships leak. Always. Water seeps through the hull, collects in the lowest part of the ship, mixing with waste and rotting food. 4 men pump for an hour, bringing the foul water up and dumping it overboard. It's miserable work, but necessary. A ship that doesn't pump sinks. Breakfast is simple. Hardtack biscuits. So tough, you have to soak them in water or rum just to bite through them. They're infested with weevils, small white worms, but you learn to ignore them. Protein, McGregor jokes. There's also salted pork, preserved in brine, salty enough to burn your throat, and dried peas, boiled into a thick, barely edible mush. Fresh food doesn't last long at sea. Fruit rots within days. Vegetables wilt. Meat spoils. So you eat what can be preserved, what can survive weeks or months in a hot, damp hold. But there's always rum. Glorious. Plentiful. Rum. Each man receives a daily ration, usually a half pint in the morning and another at night. It's strong, burning your throat, warming your belly. The rum makes the hardtack bearable, makes the work tolerable, makes life at sea almost pleasant. The day is divided into watches. 4-hour shifts where different crews handle the ship. Your watch begins at noon. The work is constant, adjusting sails as the wind changes, coiling ropes, scrubbing the deck with holy stones, blocks of sandstone that wear your hands raw, tarring leaking seams, splicing damaged rigging. The work is hard, but not as hard as on a merchant vessel. Here, if you're tired, you can rest. No one beats you for taking a break. If you're sick, your brothers help cover your duties. There's a camaraderie here, a brotherhood that doesn't exist in the Royal Navy or merchant fleets. You work together because you choose to, not because you're forced. As the sun sets, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples, the day's work ends. The crew gathers on the main deck. Someone produces a fiddle. Another man has a tin whistle. They begin to play a lively tune, something bawdy and fast. Men start to dance, clumsy, joyful, stomping their feet on the wooden planks. Others sing, their voices rough but earnest, songs of women left behind, of treasure waiting to be found, of freedom on the open sea. Dice games start in corners, card games, men betting their shares of future plunder on the turn of a card. There's laughter, storytelling, an old sailor recounting the time they captured a Spanish treasure galleon, another describing a storm that nearly sank them off the coast of Cuba. The rum flows freely. You sit with your back against the mainmast, a tin cup of rum in your hand, watching the stars emerge one by one in the darkening sky. And you think, despite everything. This is freedom. Sail home. The cry comes from the crow's nest, the lookout's voice piercing the lazy afternoon. Instantly, the ship transforms. Men scramble from below deck. Officers shout orders. The relaxed atmosphere vanishes, replaced by focused intensity. You rush to the rail with dozens of others, shading your eyes against the sunday, scanning the horizon. There, a tiny white speck against the blue, a sail. Blackbeard emerges from his cabin, spyglass in hand. He climbs to the quarterdeck, extends the glass, studies the distant vessel. Long moments pass. The crew holds its collective breath. Finally, Blackbeard lowers the glass. A slow smile spreads across his face. "Merchant vessel," he announces, "flying British colors, heavy in the water." Heavy in the water means cargo. Cargo means treasure. A cheer erupts from the crew. "All hands," Blackbeard roars. "Prepare for chase. We hunt." The Queen Anne's Revenge comes alive. Every sail is unfurled. Yards of canvas snapping taut in the wind. The ship heels slightly, picking up speed, her bow cutting through the waves with increasing urgency. You're assigned to a gun crew, cannon number 7, on the starboard side. You help prepare the weapon, load the powder, ram the ball, prime the touch hole. Your heart pounds, your hands shake slightly. This is your first real raid aboard Blackbeard's ship. The chase takes hours. The merchant vessel sees you coming, tries to run, but she's too heavy, too slow. The Queen Anne's Revenge is a predator built for exactly this. Slowly, inevitably, you close the distance. 1 mile becomes half a mile. Half a mile becomes a quarter. Now, you can see her clearly. A fat merchant brig. Her crew scrambling on deck, probably debating whether to fight or surrender. Blackbeard orders the black flag raised. The Jolly Roger, white skull and crossbones on black cloth, unfurls from the mainmast. The message is clear: surrender or die. The merchant ship doesn't surrender immediately. They fire a single cannon shot, more defiance than genuine resistance. The ball splashes harmlessly into the sea. 50 yards short, Blackbeard's response is immediate. Fire. The world explodes. 20 cannons roar simultaneously. A deafening thunder that shakes your bones, fills your chest, makes your ears ring. Smoke billows across the deck, thick, choking. The smell of gunpowder overwhelming. Through the haze, you see the merchant ship's mainmast explode, shattered by chain shot. Rigging collapsing in a tangled mess. "Reload!" your gun captain screams. You work frantically, swabbing the barrel, loading powder, ramming the ball, your hands moving on instinct and training. But there's no need for a second broadside. The merchant ship strikes her colors. Her flag comes down. Surrender. The Queen Anne's Revenge pulls alongside the crippled merchant vessel. Grappling hooks fly, biting into wood, pulling the ships together until their hulls grind against each other. "Boarders away!" someone shouts. Pirates swarm across, cutlasses drawn, pistols ready, screaming and howling like demons. You jump the gap, land on the merchant deck, your knife in one hand, a boarding axe in the other. But there's no fight. The merchant crew is already on their knees, hands raised, terror on their faces. Blackbeard strides aboard, slow, deliberate. The slow match fuses in his beard smoking, creating an infernal halo around his head. He looks like the devil himself. The merchant captain, a portly man in a fine coat, is trembling. "Please," he stammers, "we surrender. Take what you want, just don't hurt my men." Blackbeard studies him for a long moment, then nods. "Wise choice," he says. "My quartermaster will inventory your cargo. You and your crew will not be harmed, provided you cooperate." And true to his word, Blackbeard keeps his men disciplined. There's no unnecessary violence, no torture, no killing. They find the hold full of sugar, tobacco, bolts of silk, and 3 chests of Spanish silver coins. A good prize. The cargo is transferred to the Queen Anne's Revenge throughout the afternoon. By sunset, you sail away, leaving the merchant vessel damaged, but afloat, her crew alive. Blackbeard's reputation for mercy, when surrender comes quickly, is well earned. It makes other ships more likely to surrender. Less bloodshed, more profit. But life aboard a pirate ship is not all adventure and treasure. 2 weeks after the raid, sickness strikes. It starts with one man, a young sailor from Devon, complaining of fever and chills. By the next day, 10 more are sick. By the 3rd day, 40. Yellow fever, the Caribbean's greatest killer. The ship's surgeon, a former barber, with no real medical training, does what he can. He bleeds the sick men, trying to drain the bad humors from their blood. It doesn't help. Men die. The young sailor from Devon, an old Portuguese gunner, a French carpenter. Each morning, there are new bodies to be sewn into canvas shrouds, weighted with cannonballs, and slipped over the side. The crew gathers on deck, hats removed. As the captain reads brief words, "We commit this body to the deep." Splash. Gone. 7 men die before the fever passes. It's a harsh reminder. The sea kills more pirates than any navy. Disease, storms, accidents. For every man who dies in battle, 10 die from sickness or the elements. The pirate code governs life aboard ship. It's written down, signed by every crew member, agreed upon by democratic vote. The rules are simple but absolute. No stealing from your fellow pirates. No fighting aboard ship. No desertion in battle. Every man gets an equal share. Every man gets a vote. Break the code, and punishment is swift. You witnessed this firsthand when a man named Jenkins is caught stealing. He took a gold ring from another pirate's sea chest. A small thing, but theft from a brother is unforgivable. The crew is assembled. A vote is called. The verdict is unanimous. Marooning. Jenkins is given a pistol with 1 shot, a bottle of water, and nothing else. He's rowed to a small island, barely more than a sandbar, with a single palm tree. You watch from the ship as he's left there, alone, as the boat returns. He stands on the beach, getting smaller, as the Queen Anne's Revenge sails away. No one speaks of him again. Months pass. You've participated in a dozen raids now. You've seen treasure beyond imagination. You've experienced freedom unknown in the civilized world. But you've also seen death, disease, violence, the constant threat of the hangman's noose. Late at night, in your hammock, listening to the ship creak and groan, you sometimes wonder, is this life worth it? The freedom, yes. The brotherhood, yes. The treasure, yes. But the cost, you're branded a criminal, wanted by every navy, unable to return to normal society. You can never go home. This ship, these men, are your home. Now, for better or worse, until death. It's night now. You're on watch, standing at the bow, the Caribbean stretching endlessly before you. The moon is full, casting a silver path across the black water. Behind you, the ship sleeps. 300 men, dreaming their dreams, living their chosen lives. Above you, 1,000,000 stars. The same stars sailors have navigated by for thousands of years. You think about the life you left behind, the poverty, the oppression, the hopelessness, and you think about the life you've chosen. Dangerous, yes. Uncertain, absolutely. But free, here, on this ship. You are your own master. You bow to no king, no lord, no captain who beats you for sport. Here, you are equal among equals, a member of a brotherhood. The wind fills the sails above you. The ship rises and falls gently on the swells. Somewhere ahead, beyond the horizon, lies the next adventure, the next prize, the next chapter of this strange, wild, dangerous life. This is what it was like to sail with Blackbeard in the year 1717, the golden age of piracy. Sleep now and dream of the sea. Dream of freedom. Dream of adventure.